Bonjour, and welcome back to the French campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So, I've just scheduled a naval invasion of Northeast Korea. Take that from the Russians, which should also lure the Russians up there to try and defend it. We also have this one of Hong Kong active, but it only needs 22,000 tons. So what my plan is, I want to send some of these ships here over to the Bay of Bengal to take Burma, because they're pushing from Burma into southern China. And that's not very nice of them. I probably won't need a lot of tonnage to take Rangoon here, because the tonnage you need for the naval invasion is mostly based on the port capacity of that province. But I will need 30,000 to be allowed to initiate the naval invasion. So it's gonna have to be more than just like one ship. Let's see here. We can do these two older dreadnoughts, pre-dreadnoughts, excuse me, accompanied by one light cruiser, and it's gonna have to be more than 30,000 actually. I've adjusted it up from 25,000. And it's one of the things I intend to like gradually increase over the course of the campaign, the required tonnage to pull off a naval invasion. If we like do that and then bring in a light cruiser from somewhere else. Now let's do 2 armored cruisers. In case we are attacked by something, we have some firepower. This is still going to be the main force though. And also Britain is taking Sarawak from me. Chesilu Lubat. Move you in here too. Actually. So that when the invasion is initiated, this one can stay behind and do the actual invasion while the rest of the force moves back and joins the ships at Hong Kong. And we're just going to have to take Singapore later, I think. We got 30,000 tons of free shipbuilding capacity. We're probably going to need some for for repairs as things go on. Let's actually build some more of these TB90s. Yeah, because they're cheap enough. Eight more. We can put them in, where do we put these guys? Shanghai, maybe. There. And, let's see. I'd like to put more here. I do want them to get some of those, ambush missions on British battleships. If the British build any battleships here in the Channel, which is not unlikely that they would do that, we can get like a randomly generated ambush mission going. As we saw, 4 torpedo boats versus a full task force, that's not really gonna work. Would have been better if I'd gone with the long-range torpedoes on them, but c'est la vie. Onwards to October. And no meetings yet, but I assume both the British and the Russians will be sending ships to try and prevent my naval invasions. So we're gonna get those eventually. Barbette 3, Cordite 1. That's pretty neat. Somewhat explosive, but that goes for like every option in this era. Light cruiser on light cruiser. Another one of these. Pomone versus Duplay. We done this before? I'm confident enough in my new light cruisers. To be able to pull this off. There they are. They're outspotting me by quite a bit. Yeah, they got that huge cage mast tower. That, combined with them having a smaller ship, that's probably harder to spot than my rather big light cruiser. Of course they would outspot me. It's pretty neat having cage masts on a light cruiser in this era. Not sure what kind of spotting range they're getting from the light cruiser version of that tower, but it's probably quite a bit more than mine. I think I have like 1500 meters only from that tower. Let's angle in a little bit more, get closer. In the meantime, I can turn off these secondary guns. They're just reducing my accuracy. 4 kilometers? Yeah, let's get closer. You have what main belt? 2.8 at 30 plus 35. I mean, if we could just hit them, we can easily go through at this range. They're in smoke though. But that smoke will run out. Now I can turn these secondary guns back on. There we go, getting those flooding hits. Torpedoes are streaking out. They might miss because that flooding hit slowed them down. Should have kept the torps off and then set them to aggressive once they came to a halt like that. I think the torpedoes will not be needed. Yeah. Those 7-inch guns. They're pretty mean in the light cruiser on light cruiser fight. Let's see, what's the situation here now? Huge task force here. And there. Where are you going? Southeast Asia. 10 turns you're going to spend circumventing the globe because I'm blocking your strait. Let's see, what was the name of that? Burma, of course. Can I invade it yet? I don't think so. No, it's still here. Because this task force is not yet where they need to be. They need to be like here. Into the Bay of Bengal itself. Because I could not go through the Strait of Singapore here. Huge Russian force assembling. It's just going to be a 3-month invasion of Northeast Korea. And then we can send this task force out to do something. Yeah, the British have huge numerical advantages in almost every single one of these army maneuvers. They do have the Russians, though, on their side. Maybe I should have picked an ally. We'll see. We'll see if I might get Germany on my side. That is from Brunei. You can just send a single light cruiser to grab Brunei. So dude did have tonnage in that region. De Grasse can do that, maybe? Or there was one here. Duchaila. We're gonna go grab Brunei before they take Sarawak. Right. We are getting a bunch of destroyers in 2 months. Well, 3 with commissioning. And then we're getting torpedo boats in 5 or 6. And these not dreadnought battleships will take a little over a year. But that's fine. I think we can hold out and wait for them. Brazil and Greece. United States and Greece. Britain and Brazil. 1 light cruiser. Let's put the new Magenta class battleships to the test. Let's see, you guys can probably just follow the battleships. Torpedo boats, you are just heading home. Yeah, I got plenty of fuel. So the Magenta class was not the winner of the design competition. They were the runner-up. So when I realized I would need more than just the 4 battleships, let's see, north, mandated by the design committee, I went with 2 of these. These battleships are actually faster than the British light cruisers. Funnily enough. Not a whole lot faster, but still. Glasgow. 2.8 on the main belt. Can we HE... I think we can. I think we can HE pen that belt. Let's turn around, sail parallel. Let's turn those off so we don't have any accidents. The torpedoes. .4-inch guns are scoring main belt pens at this range. Unless we get something else. Guess that would work. And you two, you can just cease fire. Let the battleships handle this. Let's see if we can get some HE penetrations. Yes. That was one of those main belt pens did 12,000 damage. And that was it for Glasgow. We do have a meeting. Oh, we do have a meeting. So this is, that's a human design ship. M. That's one of Emily's designs. Holy moly. It's a pre-dreadnought, at least. Plus 55 armor quality. So, not the latest armor. That's a lot of destroyers, too. 26 knot destroyers, though. At least they're not, like, super fast. Well. It's gonna be a fight, that's for sure. 85 million for a battleship, that's pretty affordable. Well, it's not that much cheaper than the Justice class. It's about on par with the Pierre Henry. Actually, depending on like defects, it's more expensive. Now, other than all of these destroyers, their force is very manageable. It's the 47 destroyers that we're going to have a problem with. Because we got 4 times the number of their battleships. We have, one less armored cruiser, but I think mine are probably better. I got 6 light cruisers though, but that's kind of whatever. Yeah. 47 destroyers. Let's see if the PC can handle this. Been spotted north. And you are going to join the other armored cruisers. I'm gonna slow you down so you can get like in behind the battleships. Torpedo boats, 2.5 kilometer torpedo range. Again, I do think I would be better served with the longer range torpedoes on these for this kind of battle. I thought the shorter range fast torpedoes, which I've made the fast torpedoes a little bit less useless than what they normally are. They don't lose as much range as they would typically do. Make them kind of a viable choice. They'd be very good for ambushing, like a single battleship or something. But for doing mass torpedo strikes, I'm not sure. Come on now, stop sticking together. Well, I did spot their battleship. It's hidden in smoke now. They got 47 destroyers. Of course, there's going to be a lot of smoke screens. You can do circles here. There we go. Is that another one? If I'm highlighting this ship. Yeah. You can see there are a bunch of red things down here. I think those are the guns. Yeah, those are the guns. And the torpedoes. Being mounted way down there. Because this has been refit. You can tell by the lack of speed. I think that's a human design ship that they've refit and made worse. Only Mark 1 guns. I'm not too worried about their armored cruiser, of which they had 5. But here's the battleship. Varna. You got Mark 1 guns. You got thick armor. 15.4 main belt. Not the latest technology. I should manage. Again, it's the 47 destroyers that I'm worried about. And my battleships have already opened up. Secondaries. Unleash. Let's see. Pick out targets for the cruisers. Are all of these no, just two of them are broken. So this is what the cruiser is supposed to look like, right? Without the refit being applied. And then the AI refits it. Takes away all the speed, slaps on a bunch of armor, but something goes wrong, and all the guns end up down there. That's what I think has happened. Alright. I'm gonna speed up here. What kind of torpedo range are we looking at? 1.4. 1.4. 2.7. And here comes the swarm. Let's see. Let's get intercepting hits here. One destroyer down. What are we doing here now? Come on. Accidentally, one of these cruisers have initiated a move order, and that fucked everything up. Let's untangle my torpedo boats. Now my cruisers have to do like a double turnaround. Let's see. learn from mistakes and do everything on pause. Because we're clicking at tiny targets here, and if we miss and click on the ocean, that is a move order. Which is not what we want to have. Do not want my cruiser squadron moving into the middle of the enemy destroyer soup. Actually, we're double detaching you. You do not quite have torpedo range, but almost. We do outrange the torpedoes on the enemy destroyers, though. Rudder is out. Excellent. Let's just get you into torp range there. Oh, with the rudder out, that one is not getting to launch. It can turn around. Now, I think the range that torpedoes will continue steaming on after hitting the max range, I think that's been reduced. Or, I know it's been reduced, but I'm not sure exactly how much. One destroyer down here. That means T7 can get closer. Yeah, we're detonating there. T7 can get closer. Can get some torpedoes off. So, like so. Well, main gun's on the ones kind of in the back here. So we can accidentally hit a bunch of closer ships. And the battleships as well, you can start opening up on the armored cruisers. And the light cruisers, too. Oh, quite in range here, but it's fine. Very unlucky that this one has its rudder taken out. Means it probably will not be able to turn and get out from the trouble that it's getting itself in. Can you at least launch all your torpedoes? Let's see here. No, this one is not getting out. Probably not. But we are scoring a lot of torpedo hits. And in here, the enemy trying to torpedo my torpedo boat also scored a bunch of hits on their own. So far I've sacrificed 2 torpedo boats. I got one that is completely intact. One that's in decent shape, but with 1 torpedo left because the launchers have been hit. Not sure if it's noticeable, but the game sure is a little bit more laggy than usual, which is not surprising when you have this many destroyers sailing around. That one went invisible right when I had a nice densely packed bunch of targets. We've hit Dmitry Donskoy a bunch of times with our battleships. We got outbound torpedoes from our cruisers. As long as we can just keep kiting away. Okay, all my cruisers are firing at the same target now. That's no good. As long as we can keep kiting away. Don't think they should be able to get close enough to like actually do something. Actually, we're going to target the back of this cluster and have the secondaries take the ones closest. So far, so good. put your main guns to use on that one. And secondaries like on this, I guess. Also, let's turn torpedoes off on these battleships so they don't end up launching straight into my cruisers. I keep forgetting that my capital ships have torpedoes. And my cruisers will definitely make use of their torpedoes though. This torpedo boat here would be fun if you could have you hit that battleship. Which has been very much left behind by its destroyer screen. Keep this up. Justice, Pierre-Henri, you can turn your main guns off because we're going to need those for the bigger targets. Now all the cruisers are again firing at the same target. Which is a bit of a waste. But I'm pretty sure we've reduced that number of enemy destroyers down to a lot less than 47. I'm not gonna start counting them right now because I don't know exactly how many I can't see. This tally up here is including the ones that are sinking. But maybe less than 20 now. Of course, there are a lot more back here. Those would be the ones damaged early on, I think. Just take out this first group. Which they're getting taken out. They're in disarray. Because the lead ships are like flooding and engines out stuff. Then we can start taking on their light cruisers. Which have some armor. Not a whole lot. So that is like easy pickings for my armored cruisers. My armored cruisers are out of HE. They're going to turn those main guns off for now until after the destroyers are gone. Because the AP isn't going to do much against the destroyer. It's just going to overpen. But we're going to need that AP for the enemy light cruisers. Now we are reducing speed to cruising speed. I am no longer overly worried about getting swarmed. My torpedo boat is working her way around. 95% fuel left. Decent. With this front part of the screen gone, it can approach the enemy battleship safely. Safely enough. Terrible. Let's see, Justice. Pierre-Henri. You are main guns on. Pick out targets for the main guns and then turn them on. Secondaries can start sweeping for enemy destroyers that are still afloat, but damaged. Right. And we're hitting the battleship with our own battleships. And we're definitely hitting their light cruisers. The enemy light cruisers are not having a good time right now. They're still firing at the targets I want them to fire at. That's good. All of these destroyers are... yeah? Not combat effective. Especially not that one. Let's go. Let's finally put my short-range fast torpedoes to the kind of use they're intended for. We can just get close enough without sinking first. Varna has taken some flooding damage. That's good. Her rudder is not out, but maybe it could be. Do not blow up my torpedoes before I launch them, please. There they go. Well, two of them, at least. Can you maybe launch the other ones as well? Or are you not gonna launch the other ones? No, because only one of them is tracking. The other ones are stuck. I thought I gave them enough room to turn around, but apparently not. Nope. Oh, great. That's another class that needs a complete refit. Because when the torp launchers are like traversed around, they block each other from traversing the other way around. And that's no bueno. So I think I just need to remove one of these double launchers and give them more space. You know, these are being kept back by the ones that have been refit to remove all the speed. Typical AI fashion. Of course, the one I targeted went invisible. So we're going to turn off your guns again until the light cruisers show up. Actually, no. Let's just see what you can do to the battleship. Warbelt pen's definitely possible. Let's see, like this maybe? So, ended up losing 3 torpedo boats. Had the launchers been traversing the way they should against this one, that battleship would be sunk. And my torpedo boat would probably have been alive. We're gonna get that battleship though. It's getting gotten pretty bad. And here comes the weather. Which, at least, we had nice weather when that destroyer swarm came. Let's turn off the main guns again on the cruisers. They're not really doing much. The battleship, I thought she had the bow pointed towards us, but she's turned around. We're just hitting that aft belt over and over again, and that's been knocked out already. Now I want to turn the cruisers around, sail them up this way, start engaging the enemy cruisers, which I think we should be able to deal with fairly easily. Let's speed you up. In fact, let's turn off the secondaries too until we get some proper targets for them. Because they're just wasting ammo against that battleship. Oh, the frame rate has gotten quite a bit better. We can now engage the enemy armored cruisers, including the ones with nothing on them. Drop you down to cruising speed again. There we go, good hits on Isaac Victoria. Didn't they have some light cruisers too somewhere? I guess they're just hiding in the fog. They should still be around. Get some speed out of these battleships. Bring them closer to Varna. Very nice, accidentally hitting something. Isaac Victoria is sinking. The other Isaac Victoria also took a pretty big hit. That's the one with nothing on it. Might actually be able to see my battleships torpedo the enemy battleship. If we can catch it. One down. Briefly saw a destroyer and it disappeared. Try using AP on that battleship maybe. There we go. Another armored cruiser down. These are both named Isaac Victoria, by the way. This one is probably sinking. I can't see the diagram because it's bugged, but yeah, it looks like they're sinking. Our torpedo's free. Find an angle, just take the shot. 2.7 kilometer close. Oh, there we go. Justice is launched. Didn't think we'd get away with sinking the entire enemy task force, but once again, things are going better than expected. You know you've done a lot of shooting when you were running out of secondary ammunition. You actually scored a torpedo hit. And there goes the enemy battleship. Not really a bad looking battleship, but only having one of them is not really enough. As much as I dislike this fog weather for like gameplay purposes, it does make some pretty nice screenshots if you zoom in. Let's turn the main guns off again. actually on the battleships as well. We don't know what kind of battles you have to be fighting next month. Might need that ammunition. You are in resupply range, but you only get so much ammo per turn. There's the light cruiser. Why are you so far behind? We're going to do it like that and like this. And we're going to turn those main guns on again for dealing with the light cruiser. Yeah, they had a bunch of ships left that were just too crippled to get closer. Why that light cruiser is... it's running away. That's what it's doing. They have accurately estimated to be losing the battle and are trying to get their ships out alive. Which would make sense, I guess. One light cruiser remaining. One destroyer somewhere. Yeah, that's right. We have no more HE for the main guns. They're now gonna be super overpenning this poor little armored cruiser. Light cruiser. If they can hit it. The low fuel. Apparently they do have a destroyer somewhere. Oh, there we go. Yes, they do. Two of them, actually. They're in good shape. Where have they been? Light cruiser is taken care of. Thought they'd be far away, but then I saw Congreve was taking some very minor damage from someone's guns, and then I knew where they had to be. Look at the secondary ammo situation here. Where did you go now? The tower spotting on these cruisers is pretty bad, as you can see. You gotta be like in this area somewhere. But who knows? They're still targeting the sunken light cruiser. Nonetheless, you were able to evade and get away. 61 ships sunk, though. Yeah, they had 2 surviving destroyers. I'd say that's pretty decent for the loss of 3 torpedo boats. But these will need fixing, as we saw. And with that, 72,000 victory points over the Russians. Got 1 month left of that invasion. Burma. Let's take Burma before you can take something from me. There we go. Will we be in time, though? That's the question. They have another big task force here. 2 battleships. 23 torpedo boats. And the ammunition situation here is now very, very dire. But that is it for today. That was quite a lengthy battle there at the end. I didn't expect to be running into 43 destroyers in one task force. But we did pull it off. Goodbye, and take care.